Auzubillahi minash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. How are you, everyone?
Good, alhamdulillah.
Good.
Alhamdulillah. How is your practice going? Are you practicing every day, reading a little bit, or just with me only? Nobody wants to answer? Okay, no problem. Alhamdulillah, we have completed our first story, and we are going to start our second story, inshallah. And this is, we are starting from the page number 204. It's a faith based on free choice. So inshallah, we will try to cover the first two verses of Surah Al-Khaf, verse number 28 and 29. It starts with wasbir. Does anyone know what is wasbir mean? Anyone? For extra credit?
And
Wasbir, the complete. And what?
And patience.
Yeah, it's patience. Good job, Tareen. She got it. Wasbir and patience. So here we are going to read about the patience and how we can have the patience. So inshallah, we will. These are all the verses. So we will start from the page 207, the overview, inshallah. So I will read and I'll explain a little bit with it, inshallah, so that we can cover these two, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Ameen. Overview. The second passage of the surah establishes a proper value system from a faith perspective. No real value is attached to wealth, position, influence, or power, nor to indulgence and comfort. All these are transitory. Islam does not prohibit enjoyment of luxuries or comfort that are obtained in a lawful and legitimate way. But these are not the goals of human life. Whoever wants to enjoy these may do so, but he should remember that it is God who provides them. A human being must therefore express his gratitude to God through good work, because this is what remains in the end. So we all should know that Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us lots of luxury and comfort in our life. It's not bad to use them. It's actually the wealth and your knowledge and your health, everything is a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only these things can be worse at that time if you are using it in a bad things, like you are snatching someone, you are killing someone, you are saying bad words, you are bullying others, or you are bragging, boasting yourself of wealth. So those things which are not good, then these things will not be good. As you can, we can see that the knife is, whenever someone asks knife, then what it comes in your mind? It will cut, right? But what does it mean? If knife is in your mother's hand, you are not afraid, because you know that she is going to cut any vegetables, fruits, or meat or something like that. But nothing. But if you will see that knife on a bad person's hand, what will you think? Oh my God, I'm going to die. Right? So things are not bad, the actions with them is bad. So if your actions with your wealth or your comfort is not right, then it's bad. Otherwise, the action is bad, not the thing actually. Then the next page, 208, the passage starts with the directive to the prophet to remain steadfast with those who turn to God for guidance and grace. He should abandon those who are oblivious of their God. An example is given of the two parties. This is given in a story involving two men, one boasting about his wealth and position, while the other maintained pure faith in God, hoping to receive from him what is better than all material riches. This is followed with an analogy showing the whole of life on earth. It appears to us short, fleeting, and having no real substance. It is just like ashes blown by the wind in all direction. The ultimate truth is wealth and children are the adornment of the life of this world, but the things that endure, good deeds, are of far greater merit in your Lord's sight and a far better source of hope. Verse 46. So in these two paragraphs, the prophet, Allah subhanahu is telling the prophet, you should be steadfast. And how? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling how you can be steadfast. To remain steadfast with those who turn to God for guidance and grace. And the first two lines, you can underline that part, how you can be steadfast. With those who turn to God for guidance and grace. And in the second paragraph, I have a question for you. Can anyone tell me what you were thinking a year before or 2 years before? Is anyone?
I don't know.
What worries you had a year before or few years before? Does it prolong? Do you still have those fear or those concerns?
I mean, when?
When? Who is playing what?
As in, like, when? Like you said, how were we feeling last year? When was it?
So
When last year?
Anytime. Last year means January 1st. It could be January 1st, or it could be earlier than that, or 2 years before. The concerns you had when you were very young, those concerns are gone. You don't have concerns about those things. Now you have a new concerns. And after 1 or 2 years, your concerns will be changed. Right? So in the second paragraph, we can see that it appears to us short, fleeting, and having no real substance. It is just like ashes blown by the wind in all directions. So the life is very short and it's going very fast. So the things is bothering us today will not bother us tomorrow. So if we will think that, if we will remind ourselves this thing, so I think we'll be good in future. Okay, Mohammed, can you read next paragraph?
Which one?
The truth you learn.
The truth from your Lord. And contain yourself with patience with those who call on their Lord, meaning and morning, evening, seeking his countenance. Let not your eyes pass beyond them in quest of the beauties of the life of this world, and pay no heed to any whose heart we have left to be negligent of all remembrance of us, because he had always followed his own desires, and whose case has gone beyond all bounds. Say, the truth has now come from your Lord. Let him who wills believe in it, and let him who wills reject it. Verse 28 to 29.
And some reports suggest that these verses were revealed when some of the noblemen of the Quraysh demanded that the Prophet should expel his poor companions if he were to hope that the chiefs of the Quraysh tribe would ever come to believe in his message. It happens when we are in higher position, we are more wealthy, then we don't like that the poor people will come and sit with us. So this is only Islam. When you are going to masjid and praying, the sweeper or the anyone who is poor, rich, everyone is standing in one line. Even the imam can be the one who is very poor. But there is no discrimination in the Islam. So but the people of the Quraysh, what they were thinking, that if you want us to be in your company, then put these poor people away from yourself, then we will come to you and then we will accept Islam. Thus, people like Bilal, Ammar, Shuaib, Khabbab, and Abdullah bin Masud would have to be expelled from his companionship because they were very poor. As you know, that the Bilal Raziallahu Ta'ala was a slave and very poor, and so does Ammar, Shuaib, Sohaib, Khabbab, and Abdullah bin Masud. So you have to memorize these names. So underline and or highlight these names as well. Or at least the Prophet should make special arrangements whereby he could meet the masters of the Quraysh on their own in a place where none of the poor and the deprived were admitted. The rich, they argued, would be irritating if they had to sit in the same place with them because their clothing smelled of perspiration. So they didn't like it. The Quraysh was rich, wealthy, and they don't like to sit with the poor people. But if it is a matter of religion or if it is a matter of the truth, then you don't have to worry about these small things. But they did. So they asked Prophet then that he should expel the poor companions. The next paragraph is, it is also reported that the Prophet hoped dearly because as we read in the previous story, when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very sad when they didn't accept the truth. So because they were not accepting Islam. So here we can see that the Prophet hoped dearly that these elders of the Quraysh would embrace Islam. So he really want everyone to accept Islam so that he will be able to protect them from the hellfire. He even contemplated making the arrangements they suggested, but before taking any steps in that direction, God revealed to him the verse which starts with his command: contain yourself in patience. Because this is a very that was a very tough position, because there was okay, I have a question here for you all. If a person who is very normal in your school or in a society, he does something, does that matter to you? Or the person who is very famous in a society, that matters to you?
No.
No, what people look forward to whom look forward to?
Famous.
The famous people, right? So the Quraysh leaders were the famous people. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam really want them to be Muslim, so that if they will be Muslim, then the whole tribe can be the Muslim easily, because everyone has to look forward to their leaders. So Prophet's wish was to make them Muslim, so that the whole, and it happens not in Quraysh but outside the Makkah. When the leader accepted Islam, all the tribe get Muslim easily. Like they just accept Islam just because their leader get accepted Islam. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, contain yourself in patience with those who call on their Lord morning and evening, seeking their countenance. Verse 28. Thus he sets the true value clearly and permanently. that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the clear values about this, that we cannot expel those, we have to be with them who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the morning and in the evening. These establish a standard that never fails. When this has been accomplished and the true criterion has been put in place, then let him who wills believe in it, and let him who wills reject it. Verse 29. Islam will never seek to bend its value in order to please anyone and gratify his wishes. It does not borrow any value from any society implementing standards of Jahiliyyah. Jahiliyyah means before Islam, whatever they were doing, it is called the Jahiliyyah. After Islam, if someone is Islam does not mix and match, right? Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the clear directions. So we cannot mix, okay, this is the time of Christmas, so we will celebrate Christmas, we will have a Christmas tree. No, Islam, you cannot mix, and you cannot bend, Islam does not bend its value in order to please anyone. Just to please your non-Muslim friends, you are celebrating Christmas or any of their event just to please them. This is not Islam's value. So we are going to the next page. It has its own value and it will continue to implement these only. The Prophet is thus to remain patient and not to precipitate matters. He is to content himself with those who call on their Lord morning and evening, seeking his countenance. Their aim is to win his pleasure. Hence, to him only should they appeal at all times and in all situations. They should never change their purpose. Indeed, they determinedly seek their goal, which is more honorable and far superior in every way to any goal sought by people who are content with this life and seek nothing beyond its confines. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving this message to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that if you are with your like-minded people, if you are with those who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala morning and evening, it will help you to stay on the right path. Why? Because if someone is praying Fajr, then he will remind, okay, I'm going to pray Fajr, please come and join me. Or you will get reminded, oh yeah, it's a time for Fajr, or anything like that. Anything, whatever he is doing, he will say, okay, come, let's help them. Allah will be pleased if we will help anyone. So you will get reminded. So for the reminders, you have to be with those people who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then can you read next one? Read it.
Being content and patient means that the Prophet should have for his true companions for those very people and the chiefs of the Quraysh wanted expelled. He used to sit with them and instruct them in their faith and its requirements. They are indeed the better set of the people. It is their type that supports the new message best. A new faith or message does not rely on those who accept it only when it appears victorious or when it gives them a position in leadership or other type of material gain. A new message is truly supported and firmly consolidated when its adherents of sincere heart who turn to God seeking nothing other than to win his pleasure. No position of honor, pursuit of pleasure, or achievement of any material gain discolors their sincerity.
So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us the meaning of being content and patient. Okay, so you can underline that being content and patient means that the Prophet should have for his true companions those very people the chief of the Quraysh wanted expelled. So staying with the good people, staying with the people who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala morning and evening is the way to be patient. Most of you know Surah Al-Asr, right? So do you then you should know watawasaw bil haqqi watawasaw bis sabr. What does that mean? You teach each other the right thing, the truth, and you teach each other and you help each other with the sabr, with the patience. So it's not okay, only one person has to do the patience and other will not do will be not patient. No, it's not like that. So whenever you are with those who remind you, sometimes if 10 of the group of 10, one gets angry, so other 9 or 8 can guide him or her that okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like those or love those who are patient, so you will be calm down, and the next time you will remind other person when he's angry or she's angry. So if you are with the good people and they are reminding you for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then this is the best thing, to be patient. Okay, Zoya, can you read the next one?
Let not your eyes pass beyond them in quest of the beauties of the life of this world. Verse 28. Do not let your attention pass them by in order to contemplate the superficial comforts of this world in which people compete. All this is no more than an outward beauty which remains much inferior to the high horizon, to which those who call on their Lord morning and evening aspire to, because they seek only to please Him and win His acceptance.
So let not your eyes pass beyond them in quest of the beauties of the life of this world. Sometimes we really like someone's house. We really admire a very famous actor, house, car, mobile, branded purses, jewelry, clothing, games, everything, anything. It could be anything. So we admire those things and we thought, oh my God, they have these things, they are having those things. Why don't my parents have it? Why don't my parents buy it for me? No, because whatever is our limitation, we cannot go beyond it. So Allah, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, be content, be happy with it. So that is the main reason we don't and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us, do not let your attention pass them by in order to contemplate the superficial comfort of this world, because that is not our goal, to achieve a very expensive car or branded anything which is branded. So so our goal has to be fixed. Okay, who is going to read next? Aline, can you read next?
Okay. The prophet is further instructed, pay no heed to any whose heart we have left to be negligent of all remembrance of us, because he had always followed his own desires, and whose case has gone beyond all bounds. Verse 28. He must not pay any attention to them when they demand that they must be separated from the poor. Had they remembered God, they would have banished from their minds any thoughts of conceit and arrogance. They would have recognized their position in front of God, who looks at all mankind in the same way and places them in the same rank. They would have felt that in faith all people are brothers, and they continue to implement standards of Jahiliyyah, allowing fleeting desires to dictate their attitudes. Hence, both they and their views are worth no attention, because they themselves have not paid attention to God and His commandments.
So, what verse 28 is saying? Pay no heed to any whose heart we left to be negligent of the remembrance of us. So, who don't remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is not praying on time, who is not accepting the truth. So, we don't have to pay attention. We don't have to be go for like, oh my God, I have to be friend with them. No, don't do that. Because they will also let you to be ignorant. and because he had always followed his own desires, and whose case has gone beyond all bounds. So whoever is following his own desires, whatever you, okay, I really want to sleep right now even though it's time of salah, so you are following your desires, you are not doing what you have to do it right at that moment. So desires should be guided, because there are many kind of desires. So sometimes our desires are for good, which is good. Sometimes our desires are to fulfill our body need, and sometimes our desired needs, our spiritual need. So these are the things which we have to control our desires. Okay, Isa, can you read the next one?
Islam places all human beings on the same level in front of God. They do not claim position based on wealth, lineage, social standing. All these are transient. The real criterion to distinguish people is their standing with their Lord, like how good they've been, how many good deeds they've done, all that stuff, which is determined by their sincerity in seeking his pleasure and their dedication to his cause, and whether they worship him and put their needs below his, well, not his needs, but like their below worshiping him.
Okay, are you done with reading this? Okay, so Islam places all human beings on the same level. So in front of God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just see your intention, and he just see your actions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created you, your face and everything, so he don't see at your faces. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you wealth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't see your wealth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives kids or anything, whatever is the adornment of the earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided us everything. So we will be judged on our actions. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only see our faith. No, our actions, not faith. If our faith will be good, then our action will be accepted, right? So no, it's not the same thing. Okay, so is Musa is here? Okay, who else? Yusuf, sorry. Yusuf, can you read next?
Which paragraph is it?
It's pay no heed, from page 210.
Pay no heed to any whose heart we have left to be negligent of all remembrance of us. Verse 28. We have left his heart alone because he directed all his attention and all his efforts to his selfish pursuits, wealth, family, pleasures, and desires. Such preoccupations leave no time and no room for remembrance of God. Indeed, when anyone places them at the top of his list, he does not have time for God, and in consequence, God lets him pursue these goals further and become even more removed from his remembrance. His days pass rapidly, and he comes to his end in his order to face what God has in store for those who wrong themselves.
So here again the same topic is discussed, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't ask us to be can I explain? Yeah, don't distract me, please. So we have left his heart alone because he directed all his attention and all efforts to his selfish pursuit, wealth, family, pleasure, and desires. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to see our wealth, our any player, family, anything, so why we are running after it? Because that will be like we are on the earth for a very small time. So if a person who is very crazy for his business, for his job, and for for his grades and everything, and he just forget the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he or she is not paying attention for the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or for the salah, or for any good deeds, they are not behaving nicely to each other. So the all efforts will be ruined, and all efforts will be in loss in future. Okay, so we'll complete till no rescue available. So Javeria, can you complete this? Javeria. Okay, can you unmute?
What the hell?
Say the truth has now come from your Lord. Let him who wills believe in it, and let him who wills reject it. This is what the Prophet should proclaim in all clarity and firmness. The truth does not bend for the sake of anyone. It follows its own straight way. It is clear, solid, strong, free of all crookedness and manipulation. It is then each individual's own decision whether to take it up or leave it. Let him who wills believe in it, and let him who wills reject it. Whoever does not like the truth may banish himself from it. Anyone who does not wish to make his desires fall in line with the truth should know that no privileges are given at the expense of faith. A line with truth should a person who does not lower his head to God and his majesty has no place in the service of God's message.
The next paragraph, so that we can complete this topic today.
Okay. Faith does not belong to anyone who makes concessions in it. It belongs to God who needs no one. Faith does not obtain strength if it is supported by people who do not seek for its own sake or who do not accept it as it is. A person who does not wish to sit with people dedicated to God's cause because he feels himself above them will have nothing to contribute to the Muslim community. Such a person is better left out.
So here what we learn, that if the truth is there, if someone is accepting it, then it's good. If someone is not accepting it, it's bad for him. Like the example is, can you tell me it's dark outside or there's sun outside? It's sunny, right? So if someone said no, there's no sun outside, it's dark outside, so that means he cannot bend the reality. No, he cannot bend the reality. The reality is that the sun is outside. The truth, you cannot change it. You cannot bend your Islam, you cannot bend the faith. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and everything belongs to God who needs no one. And if everyone will be the Muslims and bow down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't need them. And if everyone rejects him, don't accept Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't need him. We need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us and he has given us everything. So the faith should be very strong. As we learn about the sleepers of the cave, they left their community just for the faith, because they were very strong. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just want a strong faith from you. I was reading that the faith will take you to the heavens. Even though if you have faith like a mustard seed in your heart, you will go to heaven. But it doesn't mean that if we have faith that we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we don't have to do good. No. To be having on the right path, you have to be with those who do goods, and you perform all the good deeds like the salah, fasting, sadaqah, charity, and helping others. Anything, it could be anything. So here we will conclude our verse number 29, and we will ponder today that how can we stay with those who do goods, and we don't judge people according to their wealth or their face. Oh my god, she's very pretty, so I want to be friend with her, or something like that. Yeah. Of course, we cannot judge a person by his face or
his like.
Yeah, you cannot judge a book by its cover. Yeah, right. So we have to work on ourselves. Okay, Alhamdulillah, we have completed till page 210. So tomorrow we will continue from here. So does anyone have any question about the tafsir or anything?
No.
You're all good to go?
Yes.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So if you have any question when you were reading at home, so you can write down the question and we can discuss in the class right now. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, inshallah. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be our last class is at this time at 11 o'clock. Inshallah, from then Saturday, Sunday will be off, and we will have our class from Monday through Thursday next week. But it will be at 8 p.m. at night, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, Jazakallah khairan kaseera. Barakallahu feekum. Inshallah, I'll see you tomorrow on Friday. So, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.